Hey, greetings warfighters, and welcome back to the Air Warfare Group. This is Juice again. So, picking up where we left off last time on the Supercarrier Case 1 profile. This is the series on everything Supercarrier Case 1 that we do in the Air Warfare Group that we just want to share with you, and some of our other flyers that come fly with us from time to time. So, I mentioned the other day what we do is when we chalk up and we go ahead and set the brake, and I'll tell you why we do both the brake and the chalks in a second. But another thing I want to make sure that I add too is if you're going to be on deck for any length of time, you go ahead and safe the seat. Just put it up there. If you're just touch and go, you're coming down, they're going to taxi right to the cat, go ahead and leave the seat arm so you don't have to worry about that. But we're going to safe it like we're going to stay here. So what we're going to do first is let's go ahead and go through what I would do as a hot pit refuel or hot pit rearm. So if I was going to change configuration, I'm still in training mode, so you'll look outside, you can see that I've just got a TCTS pod and a cap 9. I've got all my racks, and I've got 2 bags with nothing on the center line, and I have current fuel state right now is 5,150 pounds. So what I want to do is I want to take and turn my bingo up to 3,000. Now if you look at what 5,150 pounds looks like in the arming menu, now it's 5,140 pounds. We'll bring up the arming menu, come up with the refuel. You can see that currently and right now I'm at 48% fuel. But these 2 tanks are empty. So if I'm going to go like this, I'm basically, let's try this. We'll right click, we'll go fuel tanks. We're going to go 330 gallons. 330 gallons. So we just selected those tanks again. And let's change our skin. We're going to change our skin. Let's change our skin to, let's go to one of these. Let's go, I think I'm already 251 high vis. Let's go 232 high vis. Okay, I've got the board number. I'm high vis, so I'm the 100 CAG bird. And let's go ahead and take the fuel up to, click it once, hit the arrows twice, 50%. Let's see how much gas that gives us. What we're testing here is we're testing to see if our fuel will refill in the tanks by selecting them again without taking them off and putting them on. We're going to test that, and if we may have to do it the hard way. I'll show you.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Okay, we just requested refueling and rearming. Now let's see if those tanks come off at all. So we're taking about, probably about maybe 800 pounds of fuel. Maybe less than that, just being 2%. Now remember, anytime you change your configuration in the jet, you're going to have to reset your flight control system and then reset your takeoff trim. And usually what you'll do is if you change the configuration on the loadout while your engine's running.
Rearming complete.
Alright, there's our rearming complete. Now look, we still have just 5,300 or looks like total fuel 5,440. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bring up the menu again. Let's say we want to take off with 2 tanks. Here's what you got to do. You got to bring up the ground crew menu, remove payload. Remove payload. Now if we wanted to, we could throw a centerline tank on there and it would give us a full centerline tank, but we want 2 full wing tanks, and we want to go down here, take our fuel to 35%. There we go.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
For those of you new to the Hornet,
Copy.
if you look at the fuel gauge that I'm looking at down here, right in the bottom there, you can't see, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse on the video, but it's right below the left DDI, and it's to the right side of that. It's ticking up right now. You can see those numbers running up. That's the fuel going on board. The top number is our total fuel. The second number is internal fuel. The third number is our bingo, and the numbers at the bottom is our clock, ticking up in time. It's right now local time 6:20. Actually, that's Zulu time 6:20 Zulu 35. So we're going to do this. We're going to do the hot pit refueling. Okay, there's the hot pit refueling. And now watch, we're going to see the rearming. Those tanks are going to come off. And what we'll do is the next video will be a cold start on the carrier rearm. And then we'll start up, we'll taxi to the cats and get clearance for takeoff. And our rearming is going to be complete any second now, if not already. Now for those of you that don't...
Rearming complete.
There it is. For those of you that don't know me very well, I do not have the communications set so that you hear radio calls when you're outside the jet and everything. When I'm outside the jet, all I get is pure jet noise, and so I have that turned off. That's a little bit more level of difficulty that I like to fly with. Forces me to stay in the cockpit more instead of flying third person or second person. So now we're going to go ahead and open up the rearming menu. Going back to rearm refuel. We're still at 35% fuel. Let's add those 2 tanks back.
Request rearming. Copy.
So notice that we went straight to rearming, no refueling, because we were at the prescribed percentage that we wanted. Anytime you change the fuel bar to defuel or refuel, you'll get a refueling cue from the ground crew. Now look at us. Now we're really pushing up the tanks. Pushing through 8,000. That's not too bad. That's enough time to get up, go back initial, and then re-enter the pattern. If you look down at our aircraft total weight, we're at 34,999, so we're at 35,000 pounds right now, and we need to be at 33,000 when we come into the pattern. So that gives us 2,000 pounds to go out and push out, sequence into the overhead, and set up for the trap. So that's what you'd want to do if you're doing a hot pit refuel to go back up. And like I said the other day, I don't take off again unless I really check my fuel, unless I came in right close to that 33,000 pounds. You know, if I came in at 32.5 or something like that, then I probably would taxi out, and I know I have enough time to do about 2 or 3 more circuits. But it's always safe to go out with a proper fuel load so you have enough time to set up, because if you're flying multiplayer or if you were flying the real world, you never know what you're going to sequence. Your sequence is going to be. You don't know if you're going to have to hit the tanker and get gas or nothing like that. I hope you like this video. The next video coming up is going to be on the rearming from a cold start and startup, CV alignment, and takeoff. We'll request those beautiful crew members over there to launch us on the catapult. Everybody have a great day and be safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.